Hey, welcome to Gen X Medic. We're going to talk about ER nurses because we're doing a new series here on the individuals you're going to learn to meet in EMS and interactions, the type of personalities that go into it, and we're going to talk about some of the misconceptions, or let's just be honest, smart aleck attitudes we tend to have back and forth. And we're going to start with probably one of the most common people you're going to interact with professionally, the ER nurse. Now let's be honest. If there's anyone going to give a paramedic crap, it's an ER nurse. It's just who they are. ER nurses are probably the closest thing you're ever going to meet to a paramedic who's not a paramedic. Problem solving, quick thinking, cocky, hard charging, and don't take a lot of guff. Don't take a lot of crap from people. They have to be this way. Why was the ER nurse so rude to me? Well, you came into the ER with a minor complaint and they got a cardiac arrest going on 2 doors down, and you're upset because they're not worried about your cold at this point in time. You've got an upper respiratory infection. The person over there, they just resuscitated and they've got 4 different medications going on to bring the person's blood pressure up, and they keep tanking. That takes their priority. They've got a patient having a big heart attack, and because you're having a big heart attack, I'm going to focus on you, not the guy who's really upset because he hurt his ankle 2 days ago and wants an excuse for work. You think I'm joking? No, this actually happens in emergency rooms across the United States every day. There's a lot of memes out there. Some of them have some truth in them, but underneath the meme there's a truth that got that there. The old joke that I can't tell the ER nurse she's the one who's asking, why'd you bring the patient here? Well, of course she's asking, why'd you bring the patient here? They've been getting their butt kicked all day long, and you know it because you brought every other patient there that day. And it's worse in rural ERs where they have less resources. They don't want you to bring that critical patient there, but it's all you've got. In cities, you're dealing with the fact that the ER is packed, beyond packed. And critical patients, non-critical patients, it doesn't matter. They show up, ERs have to see them, and they know that. So, how do you get to understand where an ER nurse is coming from? First, talk to them. Don't talk to them when you're giving a report on the patient who's coming in with a inferior MI, and it turns out that it's their blood pressure tanked as soon as you gave them nitro because they're dying. But when you get a chance and you're in there on less critical time, take a couple minutes to talk to them. Show them that you're human too, that you see them as a human being. I've had nurses have my back in times that I didn't see it coming, and I appreciated it. I've also seen nurses get crapped on by people when they're doing everything they could for them. So, oh yeah, I'll talk crap. I'll talk crap back to them all day long. Same as most people in the military talk crap to each other. We've all spent our time in the trenches. We've dealt with the craziness that this medical profession can get you. Who's the first person who has to deal with the guy that's tripping out on Katie and has been fighting 3 cops, 4 firefighters, a paramedic, an EMT, and you finally got him sedated? Who's going to deal with him when he comes out? An ER nurse. This is the reality of the world that they live in. There's a meme going around that paramedics are nothing more than feral nurses. ER nurses are nothing more than house-trained paramedics. They're just as capable, they just know where to use the restroom in a civilized manner. That's all. They're really that awesome. You give me an ER nurse that's been in an ER for 3 or 4 years, I know full well I'm dealing with a professional. Especially if it's a heavy-duty ER where, a trauma center where they've been seeing bad patients day in, day out. So when I'm in making this, I want you to understand, first of all, if you're brand new, don't start talking crap. You've not earned that right. Pay attention sometime when you've got some brand new nurse in the ER. It's usually funny. Because, like anyone new to a profession, you don't know what you don't know. And they'll ask something that a medic's going to look and go, oh, this is ridiculous. And it's probably ridiculous from the emergent standpoint, but not from the nursing school standpoint. They've got to... What nursing programs teach and what the ER does, often 2 completely different things, because nursing is a long-term profession. ER is rapid fire, ditch doctor, meatballs medicine. It's keep people alive to get them to the next person. That's why ER nurses are so good at making rapid fire decisions. A lot of times things are actually done before the doctor orders them because they know. But new nurses don't know that. I'm probably going to do a section on new nurses. Just so you understand these people. But also understand, if you're a new EMT or a new paramedic who's never worked on a truck, you're going to have to earn some respect. You're going to have to take your time and step back and realize you're expected to have a little bit of respect and understanding for these folks. Also, ER nurses a lot of times are the people that we hang out with away from work. You run into each other in public and you sit there and have a conversation for 20, 30 minutes, didn't even see it coming, you just, hey Jane, how are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I've been sitting here for an hour. Had that happen a few months ago, a nurse I hadn't seen in a while who I really like. We've always gotten along, she's an amazing human being and one of the nicest nurses I've ever met. Talked for 45 minutes sitting in a grocery store. Don't know how that happened. These are some of the few people who will understand things you go through in this job. I'm not saying don't talk crap. In fact, once you've earned your stripes, you should talk some crap. They expect it. What every ER nurse will tell you, do not be disrespectful. Understand. They woke up this morning, put their scrubs on, and marched into the battlefield just like you did when you pulled your boots on. They're going to head up and do the job. You know what? From this paramedic's point of view, there's nothing more respectable. Now, tomorrow morning I'm going to head up and do the job and make a couple ER nurses mad. But hopefully they see this video and realize how much respect I actually have for them. This is Gen X Medic signing off.